All right, YouTube. So, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Martin Brodell. I already did this in a previous video, but I just want to go ahead and elaborate a little more why I really respect him as a YouTuber, because I consider him to be real news in a way, because a lot of the stories that he covers, and he always backs it up with articles and from I guess reliable sources, so CNN and like basically the media outlets, but gives his own spin on it, and I happen to agree most of the time. But anyways, a lot of the stories that he covers aren't in the YouTube trending news. So basically, he's kind of breaking through that barrier of disinformation and basically getting the information out. And he even says this. He says, like, I want to be a teacher first and foremost. He still gives his opinion, but the point is like, for me at least, I agree with most of what he says. So yeah, big thanks to Martin Brodell. I think you're real news. You're like basically like the anchor of YouTube news, in my opinion. Like, and Styx is like the offbeat color commentator, I guess. So all of you guys are awesome. I also want to give a big shout out to Wild Smile. Excuse me, Wild Smile, because he's been doing a lot of good videos recently. He makes some very, very high quality videos, like basically commentary and investigations and whatnot, analysis. He makes videos very regularly, and has covered some pretty like hard to cover topics, like with Dan Harmon and James Gunn and all them. Like, not a lot of YouTubers are talking about it because it's an uncomfortable subject. I talked about it. I fucking just sucked it up and was like, you know what, we gotta talk about this because this is awful, So Wild Smile does really good videos. Styx does really good commentary every single morning. I want to give another message to Styx, though, is that I know that there's a lot of clamoring for you to do like a live stream, but dude, if you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it, man. Like, we love the I think I wouldn't change anything about your show. So keep up the good work, man. And you're honestly one of my biggest influences in terms of me getting on YouTube and actually like feeling like, hey, I could do this too, because you do it in a way that seems to be, I mean, this is a compliment, but very easy. You basically just speak your mind. Other YouTubers, there's a Memory Decipher. He has a very, very small audience, but he's got some very good ideas. I hope that he continues to make more videos, and he seems to be more stressed on the Second Amendment aspect, which is fine. Everybody has to have their niche. And it's actually something that I should be paying more attention to, being a resident in California with all the bullshit gun laws. In fact, a good platform to run on, essentially, if you're trying to run as a Republican, or basically just an anti-establishment type, like Styx did. Remember, Styx briefly tried to run for governor, but he got shut down by the dirtbags. I think they probably said like, "Oh, you're not going to run." Like, they probably threatened him, to be honest. I hate to say it, but he always says in his videos, like, getting punched in the neck. I think that's probably what happened. I think some government spook probably came out and just punched him in the neck. That'd be sad. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying that might have happened. But no, anyways, if you're running as a essentially, if I were to run, I would basically say like the same thing that Styx said. Like, I'm not going to enforce any of the gun laws because there's not any gun crime here in Vermont. And the same, I feel like the same applies here in California for the most part, because look, if I think your gun laws have actually made things worse, like especially in the metropolitan areas. And if anything, you should be talking about getting more guns into the hands of the people that are law-abiding citizens, because that's the exact thing that happened down in Texas at that church shooting with Sutherland Springs, where I mean, this brave man, I forgot his name, but if I heard his name, I'd recognize it immediately. He basically stopped the shooter. He basically got into a person who was driving by, like he got into his truck, and they essentially chased him down the highway like 100 miles an hour, basically exchanging gunfire. That's fucking nuts, man. That's crazy. I mean, he did it, and that's basically that's a case of people basically taking it into their own hands. Eddie, man, American hero for sure. But no, like that would be like something that is really good to talk about here in California. Is like, hey, we shouldn't enforce the gun laws because and we should probably talk about getting rid of some of these laws that talk about magazine restrictions and and bump stock bans and everything. Because look, as far as I'm concerned, I do not trust the government with my guns. I don't have guns, but I'm just saying, like in general, like if I'm a hardliner Second Amendment guy like Memory Decipher is, like he's not going to let anybody take his fucking guns away from him, and he's not going to take any shit from people that are like basically like the soy boys that are acting all passive aggressive to him in public because he's simply exercising his right to open carry. And these fuckers are usually from out of town. I hate to say it, but are from out of state, and they don't respect the laws or the culture of the people that they're like of the state that they're visiting, and they basically they're like I hate to say it, they're probably from New York or California, and they're like think they're Austin, Texas, and they're like all entitled and shit. They're like, oh, everybody should adapt to my culture when I come here because I need to have a safe space around me. Like all this bullshit. It pisses me off, honestly. But but hey, look, it's the world that we live in, you know. Let's see. So we got Martin Brodell, Styx, Memory Decipher, Wild Smile. There's a couple other guys that don't do political related commentary, so I'm not going to mention them. But if I failed to mention anybody, I'm deeply sorry. I just want to go ahead and wrap this video up because I think I'm running out of memory on my phone, so I just don't want this video not to count. That was a pretty good take. I think I'm gonna end on that. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.